Hey guys! So it's Maria and Daniel again, and we are going to be learning about the glory of Jesus today.
This morning.
So it can be found in 3 different places in the Bible. It can be found in Matthew 17, verses 1 through 13, or it can be found in Mark 9, or in Luke 9. So Daniel is going to read a passage, which is about all 3 of them, in the book called Jesus is Calling.
Oh, like right now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Peter, James, and John were Jesus' closest friends. One day, Jesus took them up on a mountain with him to pray. The disciples had seen a lot of amazing miracles, but nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to see next. While Jesus was praying, a brilliant light surrounded him. His face was changed. His robe was glistening white. Suddenly, Elijah and Moses appeared and were talking with Jesus. The 3 disciples were stunned as they watched, for Elijah and Moses had been dead for hundreds of years. Then a cloud covered them, and the voice of God the Father boomed from heaven. "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." The disciples fell on their faces before God. Then, just as suddenly as it all happened, the cloud disappeared, and so did Elijah and Moses. When Peter, James, and John looked up, Jesus was still with them. As they came down the mountain, Jesus told them, "One day I will rise from the dead, but first I will have to suffer a lot. Until then, don't tell anyone what you have just seen."
So, my question is, who's Jesus? As we all know from the passage, Jesus is God's Son. He's a very, very special person who has done many, many miracles. We also know that Jesus is going to do something that has been unheard of, something that has never been done before during this time. And he tells his disciples that one day he will rise from the dead, but first I will have to suffer a lot. I wonder what he's going to be doing here soon. I wonder where he's going to be going. Do you know?
Judas.
In the passage, it also tells us something that was crazy that happened. 2 people who had lived many, many years before Jesus showed up and appeared. 2 very special people. It was
Elijah and Moses.
Elijah and Moses. I wonder why Elijah and Moses. What made Elijah and Moses so special that those were the 2 who came to see Jesus during this time? Is it because they had been through troubling times before? We don't know. My other question for you is, what do you think Jesus is feeling as he's meeting these people from the past and telling his disciples that, one day he's going to have to suffer an incredible, painful suffering for us? He already knows this before it even happens. How would it feel if you knew something in the future was going to happen to you and there was nothing you could do to change it? Nothing you could do to make it different because you knew it was something that had to happen. At the beginning, I had mentioned that, this was found in 3 different books of the Bible. And it was made in 3 different books of the Bible because 3 different people knew that this was happening. 3 different people had their own point of views about what was going on. So I challenge you to get your Bible out, go to Matthew 17, 1 through 13, and read it. Maybe take some notes on it. See, things that you noticed that were different from what we even read today. Then I want you to flip over to Mark 9, 1 through 13, and read it. And figure out what's different from Matthew to Mark. Because there's things that are different, and there's things that are going to be in both stories. And then again, go to Luke 9, 28 through 36, and see what's different from Matthew and Mark. Because there's going to be things that are different and things that are alike. During the end of the story, Jesus is talking to God, and God says something very, very powerful. He says, listen to Jesus' word with all your heart. Also, read your Bible and learn the wonderful things that God is trying to tell you. If you read your Bible, God is talking to you all the time in all different kinds of ways. And the only way you're going to be able to listen and understand what God's trying to tell you is if you read your Bible. And our memory verse for this week is, you want to read it?
Yes, it is, "This is my son whom I love. Listen to him." It's from Mark 9:7.
So I challenge you all guys to read those passages and see what the differences are, and let me know. See you guys. Bye.
Bye. Time for chicken wings.